All right, chat, let's go over a Twid. We have this week in Destiny for April. All right, we have a recap of the developer live stream number 3, Final Shape developer gameplay preview on April 9th, PvP strike team update, weapons balance update, reduced cost of strand fragments, new light tutorial skip and new light kit, new light experience wallpapers, updating the default chat experience, Iron Banner returns, Onslaught Legend challenge details, player support report, and art and movie of the week. All right, so little recap of the D2 or the Into the Light live stream number 3. We all did it. We did a watch party on it live. If you want to see the updates, we've been posting videos on them, everything like that. If you want a recap on that, make sure you go check out all the videos on YouTube. We are getting our reprised exotic missions, obviously, as you know, Whisper of the Worm, as well as 0 Hour with Outbreak will be coming later. Whisper of the Worm will be coming as soon as Into the Light drops. We'll be getting new PvP maps in May. They went over that in the live stream as well. Eventide Labs, Cirrus Plaza, and Dissonance. All the maps look amazing. If you haven't checked it out, we also put a video out on that over on TikTok and YouTube. Make sure you go check those out. We are getting a character recustomization. We knew this was coming, but it will go effective when Into the Light drops on April 9th. Plus, we are also getting an additional name change available on April 9th as well. So make sure you go change your name if you are unhappy with the one you have, or if you're Guardian 6492 or something like that. The new light tutorial experience, they let us know in the developer live stream that they will be going away from the new light tutorial. You have a skippable version of that. You can just go through it, and you can go through it if you want to, or you can choose not to go through it. It is up to you. So if you wanted to dive right into the game, if you already have some experienced team members, you don't have to go through that whole experience that teaches people how to play. You can just jump in and start playing with your friends. It's pretty awesome. Oh, we definitely need to get the developer gameplay emblem from the Twitch drop, so we got to make sure that we are watching that on April 9th, because I definitely want that emblem. It looks pretty cool. PvP strike team update. Competitive. For the update 7.3.6, we're making some changes to the game modes available in the competitive playlist. We're removing survival and countdown rush and replacing them with the 3v3 clash and collision. For collision, we have changed some zone placement on maps like Dead Cliffs and Vostok based on feedback from labs. All right, for Clash, we will also be swapping the ammo meter system for the ammo crate system. Collision was tested in labs with the ammo crate system and was designed with it in mind. But internally, we have also been testing Clash with crate for some time. The benefit of the crate system in Clash game mode specifically is that it continues to promote map movement and helps to disincentivize passive team play, which can occur when there are no on-map objectives to otherwise encourage flow. Okay, so that makes sense. Trials, we have heard the feedback that the special ammo economy in Trials, while improved, doesn't feel quite right just yet. Good. So for the first 2 weeks of the update 7.3.6, we'll be experimenting with it to gather additional data. All right, the first week of Trials, we will be running what we refer to as the unrestricted special ammo crate system. Okay, all 4 ammo crates will spawn every round, 1 by each team's initial spawn and 2 in neutral locations, and players who have special ammo will drop it on death when they are killed. Okay, while we use this to draw a baseline for an upper limit special ammo in the Trials environment. Okay, so we're gonna have more ammo, more special ammo. Okay, so it's not gonna be leaned on, it's not gonna be crutched. Okay, there's gonna be more economy, but it isn't just gonna be there every time. I can kind of see that. I mean, so we have an objective-based special ammo, more or less, and there's going to be risk reward to trying to go for it. Obviously, people can watch you try to get your special ammo, so I don't mind it. Excited to see how it plays out, I guess. I don't know if that's the answer. I feel like the transmat system was nice, but it's going to be nice to play with this as well. Like, we got to figure it out. Like, I love that they keep on giving us options and keep trying new things because of our feedback, and that's what makes me really happy about that. They're going to make PvP feel right based on what the players say, which is really good. The second week, we'll be moving to a restricted version of ammo crates, where only 2 crates spawn each round, the ones by each team's initial spawn. While players will still lose special ammo on death, they will not drop special ammo bricks. Okay, so it doesn't give it to the other team. This variant will end up with special ammo availability being between the current ammo meter system values and the previous respawn values. I think that might be the sweet spot. During these first 2 weeks, we will gather a substantial amount of data and feedback on how both amounts feel in play to inform future tuning of the special ammo systems for trials. The plan is to return to the current version of the ammo meter system in the 3rd week of trials until we can further tune the values. Okay, so they're gonna give us a chance to play with it, kind of make some content on it, give our opinion on the matter. W, good for us. All right, not swap improvements. All right, in competitive update 7.3.6 and in trials in the first 2 weeks while we run the ammo crate experiments, we will be rolling out an improved version of the not swap modifier, which will now remove ability energy if you change the ammo type of a weapon in your kinetic or energy slot mid-life. Remove ability energy if you change. So we're going to be getting rid of ability energy if you change your kinetic or energy slot mid-life. So if you change from like a special to a kinetic weapon or from a special to a primary ammo weapon. Okay, we're implementing the changes because being able to quickly and freely swap between weapons mid-engagement nullifies the downside of using a weapon with limited ammo and pushes the risk versus reward proposal out of balance for making these choices. Okay, to clarify, this means you can swap between weapons with the same ammo type without penalty. For example, if you have conditional finality in your kinetic slot, and you swap to an Eye of Soul or another special ammo weapon without losing energy. That's W. However, if you swap to an immortal or primary, got it. So they don't want you swapping. They don't want you swapping as much, is what they're saying. This should prevent occurrences of players running special weapons and swapping to primary weapons immediately after using their ammo, which will make the game state easier to understand. Yeah, it gives a little bit of a penalty, so people can't just load in with conditional as soon as they're out of ammo. Just go to using a primary weapon like Immortal or something like that. I'm not mad at it. Let's see how it plays. All right, into the light weapon balance update. How big we got? We got a lot. A lot here. Okay, weapon archetypes. These changes are to all base weapons, base weapon damage except where otherwise noted, and they apply for both PvP and PvE. Okay, breach loaded grenade launchers see a fair amount of usage in PvE, but it's mostly wave frames for ad clear. Makes sense. Or blinding grenades for crowd control. You mean disorienting grenades? Don't they mean disorienting grenades right there? Come on, man. We're cranking up their impact damage for a single target utility, and so the mountaintop feels as juice as it deserves. Love that. At the same time, the current radius on disorienting grenades is larger than reasonable for the amount of ammo these have. Reining. Did I say reining? Oh my god. So we're reining that in a little. My bad, guys. Increase impact damage by 40%. All right. This works out to roughly 15% damage buff. Total damage varies depending on the blast radius stat. Okay. Reduce disorienting grenades radius by both damage and disorienting by 15%. Increased impact damage by 40%. This works out to roughly 15% damage buff, though the total damage varies depending on the blast radius stat. Got it. Okay. So this is for both waveframe and blinding and disorienting grenade launchers. Okay. Reduce disorienting grenade radius by 15%. Okay, so we're gonna have less of a blinding effect, but more impact. So more damage, less utility. Lightweight bows were hurt a little too much in the PvP bow nerf. I don't care. I like that they were hurt, to be honest. Leaving them just barely viable. This change helped them deal a bit more chunk damage and clean up wounded targets more easily without exceeding precisions for damage dealt. Okay. Increase lightweight bow base damage by 6%. Okay. Monarch and Lashender are not affecting this change. Thank you. I want to see those come back in PvP like crazy. So we got the 450 RPM auto rifles, precision frames. We're a little too forgiving in Weapon Sandbox, where most weapons had become less forgiving and their effectiveness reflected this. We've brought them down a little. Reduced base damage on auto rifles, the 450 auto rifles, by 5%. That's good. That's moderate nerf right there. I think that's going to help. Unless we're changing anything. We're not changing anything on submachine guns. I think that'll make our submachine guns kind of fit back in on PvP a little bit better. We're going to get away from this auto rifle meta. All right, so we have precision frames, 180 and adaptive 140 hand cannons. Need a small tweak to how forgiving they are, particularly with the explosive payload perk on adaptives. The same is true for pulse rifles and rapid fire scout rifles. Okay, so on hand cannons, we're getting precision hand cannons, can 2 crit, 2 body, low resilience guardians, again, and more easily get 3 critical hits with a damage boost. Got it. Increase the base damage by 6%. Adaptive hand cannons have an increased range cushion for the 3-tap, and we've offset their damage reduction from explosive payload to allow them to 3-tap guardians of any resilience with an optimal range. Okay, so we're getting good 3-taps if we do 3 crits and 3. Okay, makes sense. Pulse rifles. All right, we got rapid fires, have an increased forgiveness and allow 8 critical hits to kill low resilience guardians. Increase body shot damage by 3.5%. Increase critical hit damage by 1%. So we're bringing things up while bringing the auto rifles down. I don't like, whenever you're trying to balance certain things, I don't like bringing something down while bringing other things up, because I feel like that gets you out of balance again. I feel like that just immediately gets you back out of balance. So they may tip the scales too hard if they're moving too many objects, right? It's like if you're trying to turn a dial on like a radio if you're trying to get that perfect signal. I know back in the day, you don't want to like overcorrect things. You want to just kind of hone in on it. I feel like you're moving too many dials at once, but we'll see. So we're getting an increase on the pulse rifles, adaptive lightweight, and rapid fire frames, increased damage all over the place. All right, scout rifles are getting the rapid fire frames increased damage by 2%. How often do we use rapid fire scout rifles? I don't think as much as we're probably not going to notice this, to be honest. Shotgun precision corrected a rounding issue that was causing precision shotguns to require 1 extra pellet to kill max resilience guardians. Okay, so we get better one shots on precision frame shotguns. Makes sense. Exotics. Now this is huge. All right. So Whisper of the Worm's coming back. All right. And it will be craftable. So we wanted to ensure it's a meta pick for damage. They want to ensure it's a meta pick for damage, as if it already isn't a meta pick on a lot of areas. Its DPS is already respectable. Understatement. So we've increased its reserve ammunition, substantially increasing its sustained damage potential. So long damage phases, increased total ammunition from 18 to 24. Okay, not huge, but it does give you a little bit more. Like, I don't run out of ammo too much whenever we're fighting orcs. If everybody's cooking on the one phase, orcs just falls over really. So this isn't that big of a deal. But it is a W since they are bringing Whisper of the Worm back for the exotic missions. It's good to do that. 1,000 Voices already delivers massive damage per shot. You've run out of ammo so fast, it was hard to justify bringing it compared to other high damage options. True. Increase the total ammunition from 7 to 11. I still think that's not enough, but based on the percentages of returns for doing ammo mods. So the Whisper already got a 15% damage buff way back a few updates ago, or a few patches ago. The damage buff already happened, so a buff for the ammunition is nice. 1,000 Voices, I don't feel like that ammunition is going to be enough to even still justify bringing it in, because you run out of ammo so quick. I'll have to test it out. 1,000 Voices may be something fun to do on Nezzy if you back up a little bit. Quicksilver Storm has been one of the top PvE primary weapons since it shipped in Season of Plunder, and the time has come to dial it back a little. Dial it back. With the changes, it's slower to build up grenades, and the grenades deal reduced damage. I feel like this is unnecessary. Increased shots to trigger rockets by 50%. That's a huge increase on how long it's going to take to get those rockets. Reduce grenade area effect damage versus combatants by 37.5%. Why were we nerfing Quicksilver into the ground? I think that's way too much. Last word, increased damage by 6%. W, but they're basically just putting it back where it was supposed to be. They just wanted to be able to 3-tap. Forerunner inadvertently received the primary ammo sidearm critical damage bonus. We fixed that issue and increased its base damage to compensate. Increased base damage 6%. Perks, Recluse is back. Got it. Along with Master of Arms. In its previous state, it was just a little too strong. Okay, so they're bringing it down. Reduced damage bonus from 20% to 15%. First version of Magnificent Howl on Luna's Howl was super strong. We already knew they were going to bring these things, a little bit nerfed version of all these new weapons. I'm going to hold off on this. It's going to be good to get these in our hands and figure out how they play, because I do not think that on release they're going to leave these the same way. So there's almost no point in even going in through this. I'm happy that they put it in here. They reiterated it. They already told us about this on the live streams, that they're going to bring these things down to kind of fit the new play style, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays once we get it in our hands. And obviously, we knew that the flinch was getting reduced in Crucible, so that's huge. Reduced flinch taken by all primary weapons, 15%. Like I said, in the last time we went over Twid, I would like to see how this plays out. I don't think it's going to be huge, but at the same time, if you're the first person hitting somebody, I feel like you should be flinching them hard, because that should give you an advantage. You should get an advantage for being the first person to the fight. Sunshot increased precision damage by 11%. Sunshot in PvP is going to be fun. I feel like this is going to be fun. Wishender's exit damage was dealing too much damage, so we've adjusted the weapon's base damage to compensate reduced base damage by 5%. Okay, corrected some weapons getting incorrect ammo amounts. All right, reduced strand fragments cost. This is a W. If for those of you that haven't gotten strand, or you're just now getting into the game and getting into the light, this is actually a W for everybody, because it is a long grind to get all of the fragments. All right, so starting with Into the Light, we're reducing the cost of strand fragments from 200 strand meditations to 100, so cutting it in half. We hope this change allows players to catch up on any missing fragments to their stranded builds, as well as prepare people for the final shape. This is a W. Honestly, this is a great job by Bungie. This should have happened a long time ago. I feel like it took me too long to get strand on multiple characters. Like, if you're only doing one character, it doesn't take that long at all. But if you're doing multiple characters, and if you're diehard playing the game like we do, this took way too long. I would hate to be a new casual player coming in and having to deal with that. Do not want to do that. New light tutorial skip and new light kit. This is also a W for newer returning players. All right, if you have not done the new light tutorial, but you already understand the game of Destiny, like whenever I came back to Destiny, and I had to go through the whole mission on the Cosmodrome for no freaking reason because I already know how to play Destiny. I didn't need a new light tutorial, but you still had to do it. It made no sense. It made no sense to me. This is good for people that can skip it if they have awesome friends that already understand the game. This is huge. This is absolutely a W. Some people will argue like, oh, new people need to learn how to play the game. Skipping it teaches it. The new light tutorial doesn't really teach you anything. It teaches you how to go from point A to point B. If you don't understand how to do that in video games, maybe you shouldn't be playing Destiny in the first place. But that's none of my business. The game of Destiny is built around multiple player activities, raids, dungeons, PvP, everything you want to stack in, right? You want to have friends that play the game. Is built around community. If you have a community and you're joining in the game, you do not need this new light tutorial because your community is going to help you along the way. So find a community, don't have a tutorial. New light kit. I'm kind of interested to see what the new light kits entail. Let's see. Does it say anything? Tools for the job, new light kits. Okay. To help bridge the power gap between new Guardians and our more seasoned defenders, players will now be able to head to the tower and choose a kit of handpicked from Ikora and the Vanguard. New kits are bundles that contain curated set of gear, subclass abilities. These kits are themed around specific subclass fantasies to help provide players with a shortcut to build crafting and give them a taste of that sweet, sweet space magic. There are 9 kits in all, 1 for each light subclass. Players can claim 1 per class. Enjoy. Okay, so you're gonna get armor. I assume, I'm not sure if it's okay. Here we go. 2 legendary weapons, 1 exotic. So it's gonna give you the exotic that's probably the best kitted for, you know, probably like ad clear or something like that, be able to get you through missions and stuff. 4 rare armor pieces, so you're gonna get your exotic and a legendary class item. So you get you get an exotic weapon, you get all of your armor pieces that you need, and you get subclass abilities such as aspects and fragments. So it's gonna give you the aspects and fragments for that subclass. It's gonna give you armor, and it's gonna give you 3 weapons that kind of fit that kit. That's pretty cool. So if they're new players, it just gets them a build right off the rip. And if you have an awesome community that teaches you how to do things, then this is a win. This is honestly a win because if you're a warlock and we're like, hey, you need to grab the solar kit, period. In-game activities, we want solar warlocks. Grab the solar one. So it's going to be good. Updating the default chat experience, Iron Banner returns, we know that. Onslaught Legend Challenge. Dang, this is a thick twid, dude. With the release of Destiny 2 Into the Light, April 9th comes the new PvE wave-based defense activity, Onslaught. To celebrate the release, we're looking to reward Guardians who are among the first to conquer the game mode on its highest difficulty. Details starting on April 9th when the update goes live. The first 3 fire teams to complete all 50 waves on Legend difficulty will receive a Lord Shack 7-inch mini replica per fire team member, 3 per total. Cool. So who's getting on the team, man? Who's joining the team? If you're watching this on YouTube, come join the Discord, DM me if you want to be on a team. Let's do this. We'll announce the winners in next week's Twid. Cool. Who's getting on this team, man? Who's going to be there with me on day 1, hour 1, dude? That's awesome. Okay. Player support report. Cool. All the artists of the week. All right. That does it for the Twid. YouTube, if you're watching this, I appreciate you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share with a friend. Follow and subscribe, depending on which platform you're on. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.